Please tell us something about the making of your new music video for your new single, Take Me Home.
Well, the concept behind the video was really just how, you know, being on tour sometimes can get monotonous after you've been out on the road for a long time. So we just wanted to convey that in the video. So, you know, the fact that scenes kind of repeat kind of is reflective of, you know, how it is to be on tour. You know, night after night, it's usually the same thing. So that's kind of what the video was about. And now you just want to get home sometimes after a long tour.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think about the medium music video, especially about the effect?
Well, it was effective for a few years. I don't know if it's as effective anymore, simply because, you know, video stations are airing more reality TV shows than they are videos. So they're the ones who are actually phasing it out, not the bands themselves or the record companies. It's actually the music stations who are opting to go for more reality-based shows and just TV shows. They're just becoming another TV channel.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay. Are you planning a DVD?
Yeah, we are, but we just have to have some time off to really figure it out. But hopefully, eventually, we'll get to it.
All right. Okay, let's talk about your new record. How did your album Never Too Loud come to be?
Well, a mutual contact put us in touch with Nick Raskulinecz. He was the producer of the album, and we took some time off to write songs and stuff, and we took about 4 to 5 months off to write. And in that time, you know, me and Nick, we kind of spoke over the phone. He was out in LA and I was in Toronto, and we just talked about how we were going to make this record and if we were on the same page, if we even agreed, you know, if it was even worth trying. And we found out very quickly that we were all on the same page. We wanted to make the same kind of record. He pointed out some things that had been lacking on our albums before, and we agreed. We were already moving towards that. And in the summer of last year, we went into Studio 606 for 2 months, July and August, and we tracked Never Too Loud. And that was pretty much it.
Okay, how much can you hear yourself growing in your records?
I don't like using the words growing and maturing and stuff. It's just another album and another batch of songs. I think growing and maturing through each album is just really industry speak for it's different, or I think it's kind of lame. It's just another bunch of songs that we wrote. Has nothing to do. We could have written these songs 5 years ago. We could have written them 10 years ago. We could have written them 5 years from now. You know, because bands are like, oh, well, we matured on this record, and then the next record, we're back. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just another bunch of songs.
All right. Which song of the new album is the closest to your heart?
Well, they're all kind of like your kids, you know. You like them each individually for different reasons, equally. But I guess if push comes to shove, kind of like City Streets, the track 2, just because it's so Lizzie, and I wanted to see if we could do a Lizzie song, and we did a few on this album. And then Forest for the Trees is like a 6.5 minute song. It's our longest song we've ever recorded, and it's got 2 special guests on it. John Garcia from Hermano and Caius, who was on our last record, he comes back. And Pete Stahl, who is the singer of Scream and Wool and Goatsnake, and both singers I'm huge fans of. So it was a thrill to have them on the same track, especially since back in the day, Wool and Caius did a split. So it was kind of a reunion, kind of like that.
Okay. What do you want people to take from the album when they hear it?
I want people to save the world. Just to have a good time.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, just that's all it's meant to be, man. It's not to be taken too seriously.
Yeah. Does it bother when people interpret your songs or your music different than you intended?
I don't know. They're not very deep, so there's really nothing to really read into.
Yeah.
I suppose if they misunderstand it to the point where it misrepresents us, I would be a little annoyed. But they're just so shallow that it's pretty easy to interpret. So I don't think so.
Okay. Can you remember the first song you learned for the guitar?
Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix. Well, it's not really by Jimi Hendrix, but the Hey Joe version
When
by
was it?
Jimi Hendrix. When I was 13, I think.
What do you think about MySpace?
It's good and bad. I mean, I think it's good that I mean, for me, I'm able to check out bands very quickly, whereas before I'd have to get a cassette or get a CD or, you know, go to someone's house to listen to it or something. This enables the person to find out if they like the band right off the bat and maybe go out and get the record if they're still into buying records, which I am. And it really helps, like, really lesser known bands, I think.
Smaller bands.
Yeah, especially the bands that, you know, don't have the money to get their name around. I've checked out their MySpace pages because I've just heard the name, and yeah, stuff like that. It's helped. I do that with bands that, you know, if, you know, you're curious about, and I like a lot of kind of like a lot of obscure, lesser known bands that, you know, and they're not too obscure to have a MySpace page, so that's cool. But it works in that way. In another way, it works against the music industry, I think, and in the sense that people just check out the MySpace page and they think that one or two songs is enough for them, you know, and they won't buy the record that way. So I don't know, but for me, it's helped. I mean, I buy records and I check out bands, and the bands that I don't buy from, I usually end up buying a t-shirt from, or, you know, it works out. Or I'm in a position where I can actually name drop them in an interview and people can go check them out. So that's my position. But for most people, I mean, I know that there's just so many bands and so much great music out there, more so than ever before, weirdly enough, that no one has a lot of money to spend on every single record they want. And, you know, things like MySpace actually helps you weed out your purchases, you know. So you can just buy the records and the bands that you really like, or you really want, you know. So
Is winning awards important for you?
it's important for my parents. So yeah, to get them off my back, yeah. But we haven't won any, so.
What do your parents think about you are doing?
They are supportive of it. They get a kick out of it when I'm in the, you know, daily paper at home or on TV at home. So they like it.
How do you feel about being an idol?
I don't know how it feels because I don't think I am.
Rock and roll star.
I'm just a guy in a rock band. You know, that's all. It's always ever been. Everybody who knows me and everybody who works with us and everybody who tours with us knows that eventually. You know, I think, you know, when you're up on stage and stuff and you're doing the show, I mean, I'm really pumped up to play, and that's what you get. It's not a show, it's not an act. It's just me really pumped and excited to play. That's what you're getting. Maybe I get more excited than most people, but I really fucking love rock music. You know, I mean, I'm the guy playing air drums and air guitar when the stereo's on and there's a song I like. So you take that, amplify it 1,000, 2,000, 20,000 times even sometimes, and that's what you get. I'm ready to explode when we play. So that's natural.
Cool.